I believe that every individual person on this planet has so much inner power and so much love, and they need to be strengthened because we have so many people putting themselves on pedestals, playing authority figures, and trying to be controlling, but they're not people who are powerful. Power is love, and I hope that you can reclaim that authority, that divinity within yourself, and empower more people within your community, within your family, within your life, so that we are more in an operating state of empowered people, being conscious and making decisions from a place of abundance, from a place of groundedness, and not from a place of feeling brainwashed or delusional into thinking that we have to abide by systems of control continually that are not centering our well-being or the well-being of this planet. Gone are the days. Hey you, I'm Anissa. Today's video is for anyone who is grieving the US presidential elections, who is feeling a loss of power within themselves, or feeling a sense of sadness, a lack of motivation, a feeling of powerlessness. This video is for anyone who wants to reclaim that feeling of power. Things external to us are always changing and shifting. It's really important for us to remember who we are in the face of it. Most of my videos are reflections and stories, sharing from my lived experience, as I believe we are all each other's healers. We provide a mirror for each other to be able to see ourselves more clearly. If you enjoy this video, like this video and subscribe to this channel for weekly uploads. Today's video is for anyone who's needing more uplift, more empowerment, wants the knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. In today's video, I'm sharing some writing and also sharing many tips to you to reclaim your power, to self-care during this time, to self-soothe during this time, and also bring a level of that abundant love to other people who are needing it at this time. Control is not power. Love is power, is the affirmation of the day. No more displacing our power in authorities that do not have our well-being as priority. The well-being of people, this planet takes precedent in the world I see. In the world I envision, we are not giving attention to laws or legalities that do not prioritize these either. We are sovereign beings, carrying the power in every single one of us. Unique emanations of the same source. People want to blame Hitler for the Holocaust, but it was the result of unconsciousness of so many at play, brainwashing people into hate division, some numb, some unhealed. And the same happens again through various wars, again through hate crimes, again in arguments, and again in presidential campaigns rooted in division, fear baiting, weakening people's perceptions, strategizing submission and separation. There's a deep forgetfulness of our shared experience, a deep amnesia that we're here to wake people up to remember the truth of life, that death is our uniting force. We're all temporarily here and return maybe in new bodies, but while we're in this one, let's center it. Let's center true power, love, power. We'll all be on our deathbeds, clinging to more love, the feeling of love, the love of people mainly. Behind you are all of your ancestors that contributed to your body, all of the resilience of them and the survival skills in your every cell. You are strength in these times. Lean on them. In your soul, there is a world of wisdom, working to lead you intuitively towards your highest good. Listen to that guidance. In your heart is a longing to know more love in every person that you meet, and most deeply within yourself. Honor these emotions. The power you outsource exists in you, wants to be reclaimed by you. You are the divine, and in this world of pedestalizing dollar bills, don't let the divine be dismissed. Systems of control take a back seat. Love takes the wheel. This topic of the importance of reclaiming true power, which is love, became relevant to me Obviously today, given the election results, but also last night, I went to a death cafe, which is a space where people gather. And dissimilar to a bereavement group, it's people who are experiencing the death of a loved one, but also those who are interested in the esoteric, who are meditating on their mortality, who are really anchoring in love, and know that that's the most important thing in this lifetime. And the experience of somebody loved to you passing reminds us of that. I've been experiencing my dad passing for the last year, and it's been elongated grieving because of that. I've also been meditating on death for the past number of years, since 2017, as my ex-partner had a near-death experience, and I, being more intuitive, experienced that on a deeper level. And if you experience more life, then you experience more death, you experience more people passing, and you re-evaluate your value system. Celebrate this beautiful life, to really bask in the small moments, to really center the well-being of ourselves and others, and really deeply wish more love in this temporary experience and less suffering and less pain for all people. And I had a dream that there was a tsunami. My home was hugely impacted, but then when I went back and I revisited my home, things were intact. And whenever I experience water waves in my dreams, it's the sign of emotional upheaval. Dream symbolism is really special to look into. And the fact that my home was intact showed that despite the external forces that are at play and the level of disruption that might be uprising on a collective level, that within myself, in my center, things are going to be okay. And I wish for others to feel that, to have that knowing, even if they don't feel like they're deeply connected to divine forces of their ancestors or spirit guides, etc., to kind of return to some level of anchoring of love. And when I was in this group of folks around death yesterday, all of us had something that we were needing to do to feel an anchoring in love, whether it was spending time in nature or meditating more or singing or dancing or finding joy in small ways. We needed something to continue living. I knew this morning what the election results were. I took a peek anyway, and then I was obviously disappointed, and a number of other feelings and emotions arose, and I gave myself spaciousness to sit with those. And so I'd love to share with you tips to support you in working through the emotions that might be arising for you today. If you're feeling a level of powerlessness, if you're feeling a lot of disappointment or grieving or loss, then maybe these tips will support you in feeling more uplifted, and if nothing else, surrendering more to the emotional states that are arising for you until all of that is cleared within your system and your energy body, so that you can return to your true power, which is a state of love. Here are the tips to take back your power, to reclaim true power when it feels like, oh, this is my president, I am therefore powerless. Absolutely not. Reclaiming our power, regardless of what systems of control are in place and working to govern us. My first recommendation is to take a break from news and social media. Though it's really addicting to tune into all of the updates and continue to see people's reactions, what a lot of people share on social media is reactive. Therefore, it's going to incite in you more feelings of extreme emotion, of feeling triggered, of feeling sadness, of feeling hate. And it's just going to completely be a reactivation of those types of emotions within your body. Taking space for yourself until you're in a more grounded place for yourself to be able to revisit any updates and tune into other people's opinions, but really just tuning into you and yourself first. Leads to number 2, tune into your inner world. Allow the floodgates to open. Allow the sadness to come through. Allow the anger and the rage. Allow whatever needs to surface for you to surface, because if we do not surrender to our emotions, sometimes if they're not expressed thereafter, they become suppressed, and eventually through the suppression, repressed, they enter our unconscious, which is 90% of our brain. And in that 90%, it's driving us towards patterning behaviors, addictive ways of being that are not supportive and conducive to our well-being. And that stays in our energy body, and it shows up in really unwanted ways, whether it's a health condition or passive aggressive behavior to somebody, it just continues to circulate in unhealthy ways. And so really allowing life force energy to allow it to pass through you, let emotions be in motion and honor all of them, let them be seen, try to apply mindfulness practices and dissect, oh, this is sadness right now because I feel the clenching in my throat, and I know that that's an indicator that I'm holding tension there and I'm not wanting something to bubble up. And maybe that sadness just needs to come through. It needs to come through our eyes into tears and allow us a cathartic release. It needs to come through in anger, then bubbling into rage, and then dissipating into a softening of the heart and an opening. And just allow that cycle of emotion to take place within us. Number 3, which is voice activation needing. So for me, the surrendering to emotion is really supported by using my voice. So I love to express, but I also am required to sing and to scream. If you put on music that really supports you in letting your emotional state be more activated and more expansive, then allow that. Put on that song, sing that song, do chanting, whatever feels like it's opening and creating more opening within your body so that you can be a clear channel of love to yourself and to others. Leading to our next tip, which is express. Sometimes it's just the opening of the throat. At first it's screaming, but then eventually we want to share words and we want to be in connection with other people. Call a friend, join a Zoom group. What I did differently from most mornings was I joined a prayer for peace group, and on the Zoom, just hearing the Reverend share messages of love, messages of peace and optimism. Even if she was feeling some level of discouragement within herself, eventually you could see how in her sharing this message of prayer, it was supporting us and it was clearly supporting her. You could see her opening and tension release over time, and that's a beautiful thing to witness. The more that we sit in connection with other people, the more that we can experience communal healing, which is all what we're needing more of these days. Though phone calls and Zooms are a really great secondary tip, it is helpful to really just be in the company, in the presence of others, and be able to share what's on your heart and mind. Next, meditation. My least surprising tip always, to sit in meditation and allow whatever is still needing to surface and be surrendered to be felt. So this day today, I sat and I meditated to understand what energies I might have been pushing away, to understand my emotional states. I meditated to call in more love. Sometimes I have an internal monologue going on in my mind, to quiet that one and be able to tune into noticing and silence and returning to being the awareness. At our highest state of being, we are loving awareness. Meditation is a really beautiful way to get that spaciousness and pull ourselves above being in these human bodies. Once we're done with the sitting, the moving of the body in whatever ways that you're capable of. If it's dance, if it's yoga, if it's running, if it's hiking outside in nature, taking in fresh air, taking in sunshine. We'll get into that in future tips, but really just whatever movement is available to you, really connect and move within your body. Move the energies that are stuck within your body. Allow them to feel like they are flowing. And remember that you are fluid and adaptable and changeable, that you are resilient. And in these times where we feel stuck, remembering that we can move our body and reclaim our freeness, reclaim our sovereignty, and liberate ourselves continually. So the ideal movement is outdoors in nature. If you're able to tune into nature as the higher power for you, the sun, a natural point of power, energy, allowing all of us to exist and even be here. Tune into the sun, tune into the sky, allowing our open skies to soothe us and give us the feeling of expansiveness. Tune into the moon at night. Thank the moon for the energy and the cycle and the powers that she has. And waves, tune into the ocean. Really feel the expansiveness of the ocean, gratitude for water as what we're made up as what creates and allows life to exist. Being under a tree, connecting with Samadhi, cosmic consciousness in the tree's body, thanking the tree for giving us oxygen for his purification of us. Tune into some natural forms of power. Next, tuning into prayer to tune into the formless power. So there are non-physical energies that are here, whether it's your ancestors who have deceased, or spirit guides, or angels, or source, or whatever you believe in. There's power for you in having a relationship with non-physical energies. So tuning into whatever ones feel powerful for you. Some people like Jesus, some people like Buddha, but whatever you need to be reminded of the formless power that exists and surrounds you. As I shared in my writing, ancestors who live within your cellular body, you can even just tune into and thank every single cell in your body. If you are an atheist, for being a part of your body, say, thank you for my DNA. Thank you for the strength of survival and for perseverance through anything. Second to last, compassion. Really good practice for today. And always when you feel like your power is not within your body, that you feel like something is happening in the external world that's not allowing us to feel fully optimistic, fully sovereign, fully faithful, have more compassion for yourself in those times, to get that inner critic to quiet down, to allow the optimist in you to level up and do things that are self-soothing. Be gentle with yourself, do some R&R, take a bath that's longer, take your time to have and enjoy a delicious comfort meal. For me, I had pancakes this morning and a nice hot chocolate. It was delicious. And doing these little things to treat ourselves and be like, fuck it, life is short. I want to enjoy the things that are going to make me feel good. And I want to sit with them. And it doesn't mean being a complete hedonist, but it does mean taking extra compassion towards ourselves, because that compassion that we give to ourselves is the same compassion that we therefore give to others. So honor it in yourself first and foremost. Find the ways that you can be more loving to yourself today. And that might be in those little small ways, or it might be a completely hedonistic day. I do not judge you. And last but not least, to be in service. I find service to be a very selfish way for me to be perceived as selfless, but ultimately they are one and the same. When we take moments to show up for each other, whether it's showing love in a small act of kindness, showing love in a larger way, giving some tips on self-care to others. If any of these resonated with you, if you have additional tips, I would love for you to share those with the community in the comments below. I would love for there to be more fluid engagement of sharing love and sharing guidance to each other, because I'm not here to be an authority. I'm here to empower other people that I believe are powerful. I believe that every individual person on this planet has so much inner power and so much love, and they need to be strengthened, because we have so many people putting themselves on pedestals, playing authority figures and trying to be controlling, but they're not people who are powerful. Power is love. And I hope that you can reclaim that authority, that divinity within yourself, and empower more people within your community, within your family, within your life, so that we are more in an operating state of empowered people, being conscious and making decisions from a place of abundance, from a place of groundedness, and not from a place of feeling brainwashed or delusional into thinking that we have to abide by systems of control continually that are not centering our well-being or the well-being of this planet. Gone are the days. If this video supported you, let me know by liking this video. Please contribute to the comments section and share some even small piece of guidance or a tip with other people to help them move through this time where they feel the darkness is very present, how they can show up with more light, how they can honor their emotional states as they might be a little bit more tumultuous than usual. I would love to hear from you. Others would love to hear from you. I'm sending you so much love. I might share 2 videos this week because I'm feeling good. Appreciate you being here.